Hi guys, Ian from the Football Boots team, and today I'm joined by Kieran from the Boot Cycle, and we're going to be talking about recycling your football boots and buying new and old boots. Kieran, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Ian, for having me on.
No worries, good to have you on. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm the owner of the Boot Cycle. So I started this page up about a year ago, really now, and it kind of follows the process of with everything going on to kind of get your football boots recycled rather than throwing them away and spending money on such expensive boots. So we kind of offer the service of not also selling boots but also buying boots. So we'll take boots from the customers, try and upgrade them, make sure they're in the best condition as possible, and then sell them on to customers again. So we kind of follow that cycle of offering a product that could have been going to waste and giving it that second life, really.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, really. I mean, there's a lot of kind of focus on recycling and reusing things nowadays. You see a lot of the brands who are doing like football shirts made out of old plastic water bottles and things like that. So it's good to see football boots kind of getting a good lifespan, because sometimes people want to, like Ronaldo and Messi, they'll be onto the latest colorway after like 2 games or something, So it's good that people can kind of get a different colorway, but the boots still get some use out of them.
Yeah, and I think that's what really came to light when a lot of people I'd be playing around at a school level will be, at that stage where you're just breaking into the first team with professional clubs. And when you're seeing players go through boots, quicker than the weeks go by, it's important really to try and think of a way that this could be saved. So I think it kind of offers a solution where, I think there's some other pages that have started doing it now as well. Boots aren't getting thrown away. And I think, like you say, in the current climate, that's such a huge emphasis.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So why do you think there's that market for the recycled boots? I mean, obviously you just talked a little bit there, but do you think it comes down to the price, or people wanting to, like, as you say, like reuse things? Like, what do you think is really driving it?
Yeah, I think there's a variety of factors, really. I mean, I think the first instance that really appealed to me is I've always kind of gone with the route of, using the likes of eBay, the likes of Depop to get secondhand boots. The fact that, your top tier boots now, they can range from 200 to 250 pounds, especially for a top Nike or Adidas model. And I think the appeal of having to pay that when you can get a pair which has been worn once, twice, for literally the value just slashes as soon as you do that. I think that appeal of still getting the highest quality boot, but you're not paying the highest price, I think that was really a big appeal. So I think most people, that they demand the best quality boots. So people want to be wearing the exact same boots that your Ronaldos and your Messis are wearing. But if you don't want to, splash out the £230, you end up with the lower tier models. And I think that really doesn't appeal to people as much, to be wearing boots that there's a better standard of. So I think that's been a huge driving factor in, almost providing that outlet for where our sales have driven.
Yeah, nice, very good. So you've been doing it, as you say, how long have you been doing it now?
Yeah, so we've been operating now just over a year. So it was kind of, I'd say, well, we're coming into May now, so it's about a year and a month. But I'd say once lockdown kind of hit last year in England with coronavirus, I thought, I'd always worked it kind of within this kind of sector of footwear. I'd previously done stuff with reselling, so with, Yeezys, with Supreme, and I thought I'd try and switch to something I was more passionate about as such. I've always kind of been that person to get a load of football boots and then sell on the last pair. So I was thinking, is there a way to go about it? And then originally, to be fair, we were going to call the page Second Life Boots.
Oh, yeah.
And it was only till last minute. The domain was nearly registered, and that it was only till last minute we had a bit of a change of mind, and we were like, I think the Boot Cycle suits better. So it was kind of, it's been in development and in process now for over a year. So it's operated really well.
Yeah, really good. So do you play football yourself?
Yeah, not to the competitive standard that I'd like to, but I've played football since I was 6 or 7. So football's always been huge to me. I mean, I've grew up in Liverpool as a United fan, so I've taken a fair bit of stick since I've grown up. But especially recently until this season. But yeah, no, I've always played football from a young age. I think when I was about 14, 15, I got involved in futsal as well. So I've played varieties of it, but no, football's always been a huge part. So I normally play just on the wing or right back. So just up
Oh yeah.
and down really. But I was always into my boots when I was playing football. It was, I think I'm trying to remember what the first pair that I really got, but I remember there was a pair of the F50 Messi edition that I had. They were one of my personal favourites that I had when I was younger, and then I was always into my Mercurials, always bright colours when I was little. So I've gone through a fair few of the boots, to be fair. But yeah, I'm a massive fan of football. I love playing.
I suppose that's the good thing with recycle boots and things like that, is you get to try like a lot more boots. So like you could find out if like boots suit you, and then maybe you might go buy a brand new pair eventually. But at least you've had a chance to try a Mercurial or whatever else it happens to be, because you couldn't get that entry into it a bit cheaper, and then you could sell them on again and try something else again. Do you get people coming back to you who like wear a boot for a while, then sell it back to you and go to something else?
Yeah, and I think that's something that's really resonated well with me, is the fact that we do get people who will buy the boots, they'll use them a bit, and then they'll come back to us and we'll see what we can do to restore them. And the other thing is, we have a lot of people on the page who follow it to buy boots off us to then restore them or change the sole plate. So we can take boots in a variety of conditions, and albeit the price may be lower on some, people can still, do them up themselves. So we take a lot of variety of boots. But the other thing you get, which is always great to see, is someone will buy a pair of boots off the site and then they'll sell you your old pair. And I think that's kind of the mission, really, is to complete the full cycle. So for people to not just buy another pair, just have loads of pairs sitting around, people like you kind of started. I think that's definitely been a big change since the past couple of months. There's been a big change in initiative with people just buying football boots straight off us, and then within a matter of weeks you get a message saying, oh, I've got this old pair now, I bought this pair off you, and I sold the old pair to you. And I think that's great to see, really, is that stuff isn't going to waste, because especially for us, it's almost a win-win, because you can offer the solution of quick cash for something that you would just have sitting around, and in return you're getting the boots off your hands. So I think that's been a big thing. But we've definitely in the last few months tried to almost emphasize a shift to a bigger variety of boots. I know we got a pair of the limited edition Pure Controls the other week, the gold version. So we're trying to almost provide a range of boots. I think initially we just tried to take boots off anyone for as cheap as possible, but we've seen now that the market for just nearly new boots that have been worn once or twice, they lose their value so quick that the market in them is significant. So we've tried to almost provide a massive variety now, but we're definitely in the stage of just increasing our supply as we go.
So you talked about having worn like a lot of Mercurials, and you had that old pair of Messi F50s. What would you say is your like favorite boot?
I'd say the favorite boot like ever, the one I've always been after, was one when I was younger. I think I've got it over there. I can go get it if you want. It's the T90 model, the green silhouette. So this was the boot literally when I was younger. I just couldn't find anywhere, and I eventually found it. I think they're a size.
Like the green with the red on it.
Yeah, do you want me to go get them?
Go grab it whilst you get as well.
Yeah, albeit tarnished. There they are, size 4 or 5. Literally, these are the only boot really I've kept since I was a kid. I was just absolutely love these. I don't know what it was about them. When I was younger, I was really into my bright boots. I'm not sure why. I'm quite embarrassed if I was to wear white boots now or bright yellow boots. But when I was younger, I absolutely loved my boots. I'd always be the one who get them like taken out of them for getting a new pair of boots for no reason at all. But no, to be fair, the T90s are definitely one of my all-time favorites. I'd say at the moment, I currently wear the Phantom Venoms. I'm not sure if I wear them in the blue colorway, and I will literally wear them until they're beaten into the ground. I absolutely love the Phantoms. I just think the way they feel is huge. I think the other thing was, I'm not sure if you're aware, I feel like the ankle boot phase, especially for Nike, is starting to almost deteriorate. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, it seems like it's a little bit less popular than it was before, and just seems to be moving on.
Yeah, so I think I've had that same approach, especially with selling boots. You see a lot more people after the lower silhouette now, instead of the ankle boot version. I think especially 4 years ago, I was all over the ankle boots. That was all for me. But I think it's definitely been a big shift now for people who much prefer the lower grip. and less support on the ankle.
Yes. All right. So my next question was, like, because you kind of recycle, is it, you do like the older boots, so you're talking about, say, the T90s, that's kind of going back a bit. Do you find that people are recycling like those much older boots, like those more classic ones, or is it more of like the modern ones that people are just recycling like more recent ones?
Yeah, I'd say as a company, we kind of almost face an emphasis on trying to kind of keep the up to date boots, not brand new models, but we kind of have a shift towards the new boots. I know there's some pages out there that will emphasize on classic boots, and when they get recycled, they'll do them up, etc. I think just as an individual, I don't have the expertise of all the Predator models or other models that almost, market them. I think some Predator models, that some of the remakes literally sell for so much. It's a great market to be in, but I think my almost area of expertise lies more in the newer models. As much as that is good, we also do have the opportunity to, when we're buying 8 or 9 pairs off one individual, and they've got a pair of Predators or an old pair of T90s, I'd definitely take them off their hands, but it does come at a more, we're not as instructed on what we should sell them at. I don't think we're as aware in that instance of the approach to do it, so we try and stay away from that market and leave it for the people who are more skilled in it. But saying that as well, say it was the Magista model, for example, that's a model I haven't spoke about, but that is another beautiful boot in my opinion. I think, say it was a pair of the yellow Magistas, the Obras, the OG colorway, I'd snap them up straight away. I think when you start going back to 2000 to 2007, 2008 boots, then I'm starting to I'm not as aware in those instances on what's best to buy. So we definitely try and place a shift towards the newer 2011, 2012 upwards to 2021 boots. But yeah, again, the problem you've got is with the people you're supplying from, it's your own people, it's your customers, and you don't want to offend them with a price that you can't make any money on. So sometimes it's just a matter of saying, as much as I love the boot, you're best selling elsewhere, because I don't want to offend you with this kind of offer. So your supply also can depend massively on the price that your customer is offering the boots to you for.
Yes. Yeah, it depends on their expectations, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And say a customer's bought a pair of boots from Pro Direct and they're not sure whether to return them or to send them on. Often in these instances, we'll just be brutally honest and say, look, you're best returning them, because for us to buy them off you and then create a margin to sell them again, it wouldn't be fair on yourself. So yeah, it's a matter of just being honest, really.
So do you have any kind of like plans for the future? Like, what's your next step?
Yeah, I think currently we're at a really critical stage, really. I think obviously we've done a year of trading now, so we've kind of got the waters, we got previous figures to compare sales to, we got processes. I think there's a few steps really we want to do. We're in the process now of trying to find a football team to sponsor. So I think almost just that giving back to the community and also trying to get your name out there as well. So it's almost a matter of just looking for a suitable football team that would link well. Probably one that is a local team I would have played for in the past is kind of the idea. I know when I was younger it was the same approach. You'd reach out and you'd support the younger team. So I think that in terms of a sponsorship plan is one of the ways we're looking to go forward. And then obviously we're trying to improve our media profile. We're trying to get the page out there more. I know there's a few different outlets currently that the business operates in Belfast. So I'm in Liverpool at the moment. We've got my friend Joe who's doing a brilliant job organising, getting the stock out and supporting the business. So I think the plan realistically would be to get an almost office, scale up the size. I think currently there's about 70 pairs, 60 pairs on the website. I think we've been hammered with orders the last week, especially with it being payday. So the plan really is to scale it from there. I think the plan has always been to have a certain value of stock and a certain amount of products. So just kind of scale it up, and then hopefully towards the season when the boot festivals almost, the the in-store markets where you can get a table, you can get all your boots lined up. I know there's a few that run around Liverpool, you know, kind of start almost trying to open as many sales channels as possible. I think we've been lucky. We've gained good engagement with our audience. I mean, we always try and keep that up. And I think if we can start improving the plans to go on TikTok, there's plans to do a variety of things, and then eventually you're looking at a 2-year, 3-year span. The ultimate goal would be to get almost a pop-up shop and then straight into a rented shop and kind of go from there. But I think that all comes with scalability and also commitment. I mean, I also work as well, which is why Joe's come in and he's done a cracking job. We've got Scruffy as well, who does the deliveries. He's done a brilliant job. So I think if we can kind of keep that scalability up, and I know there's other lads as well who work on the team, with Cormac, for example, if we can get that scalability to grow the business, I think is a huge aspect, really.
Yeah, cool. Sounds very good. So you talked about, like, when people send you the boots and stuff, what kind of condition do they come in? Do you get them, like, do they come dirty and stuff? Do you have to clean them, or do they come clean?
Yeah.
Like, what's the...
I'd say each boot has its own, you know, preferences. I mean, we've had boots literally been sent in a bag of mud, and you look at them and you're thinking, this is going to be a long day. And you can get boots pristine condition. It's unbelievable. Some of the boots that get sent, you just look at them and think, wow. The problem is as well, a lot of the best boots I can't sit and show you much of, because they sell straight away. So you'll see a boot that's absolutely cracking, you put it on the website and boom, it's gone. And I think that's always sad, because you want to keep your stock as high as possible, but it's not a bad problem to have, really, is it? But it's that's always a shame. But I'd say, yeah, we've been lucky as well to reach out with a few companies, and I don't know if you've ever spoke to Boot Buddy. He's been brilliant. He's helped us out, and we've got a couple products of him. So they always go through the extensive clean of, you know, there's like a special foam we can use to take off a lot of the mud and a lot of the marks. And you would genuinely be surprised how much dirt and stuff you can get off boots. Most of the time, if the dirt isn't off the boot, it's a matter of it's not worth trying to take it off, and all mud, etc., can be taken off, and then you just come down to the matters of getting the marks and scratches off from playing on the AstroTurf, for example. Can always affect the sole plate in different ways, and literally just a change of studs on the boots can make a hell of a difference. So I think once you get a process, I mean, we use a variety of different cleaning methods, but once you can kind of get that nailed on, a lot of the boots can really be looking spick and span. I think the worst bit is, you know, there's a few methods we've picked up now to kind of get rid of the odor that some people can leave the boots with, but that again can be removed. And I think the difference as well, and I know this was an earlier point we raised, but I think the difference between second-hand football boots and what makes them so unique is that with second-hand shoes, etc., some people will keep shoes in pristine condition, or trainers like Yeezys in pristine condition, but as soon as you take your shoes onto the football pitch, they're getting used straight away. So whether you get a pair that has been used 2 weeks, then they're going to be no different than what would happen if you wore them for 2 weeks. So you'd then be valuing, is these 2 weeks of wearing them brand new worth my extra £100? And I think that's a critical factor, really, in the use of used boots.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. I was going to ask you about the smell, so that's
yeah. We've had to invest in a lot of storage, really. We use a lot of the shoe boxes that you see these days, where they're, you know, you can open the door and slot them in. We use a lot of that now, so it's almost just a gigantic wall of boots. But that has done a tremendous job of getting rid of the smell. But I know, especially early doors last year when I was operating in my bedroom, I had just a small like storage rack, and I was just trying to rack as many boots onto there as possible. And yeah, you did have to, you know, lose a lot to the smell. It was unbearable at some points, but I definitely now, I think with the new methods and the new way of storing it and new ways of cleaning it, I think as soon as you get them, if you do certain, you know, approaches to the boots, and then as soon as about to go, you spray them, etc., it makes a hell of a difference. So that's been a huge aspect, really.
Great. So I mean, you were saying like maybe like £100 like cheaper or whatever. What's kind of like a typical kind of price of the recycled boot compared to like a brand new one then?
Yeah, I'd say the typical price varies. I mean, our average order value is probably about 70-80 pounds. So if you're looking at that, I'd say 95% of the boots we sell are elite tier boot. They're the ACC condition. Excuse me. The 0.1 Adidas, the plus model. So I'd say every boot we sell will normally be elite, and that's looking at 85-90 pounds. I mean, we have had boots recently, some newer models, which are, yeah, to call them new would be a lie, but to call them news would also be a lie. They're kind of that condition, they're like new, and they'd sell for about 150, but again, that's 70-30 pounds off the retail price. I know last week a pair of Mercurials sold, elite standard, and they sold for about 70 pounds. Condition was relatively good as well, and they would have been 230 pounds new. So a lot of the instances, you're like, it's a very good discount you can get. I know I often find myself just keeping a few pairs and then realizing, all right, I need to sell these, Kieran. But sometimes when you're getting offered these boots at some of the prices, some of the customers offer them as well is tremendous. I mean, we do also use a few other ways of getting boots. I mean, you just kind of build up that reputation once you start a page back home. If someone needs their boots gone, you're at that position now. You're just getting a message like anything you can do with these. But yeah, I'd definitely say like you're looking towards like 50 to 100 pounds off the retail price, and I know that doesn't mean the boot is going to be sat there perfect condition straight out the box, but you're going to be in a much better financial position. So it's that gambling. I mean, there's no emphasis on people who want. If I completely understand, there's nothing better than a brand new pair of boots. It's almost trying to fit in that niche gap of people who want the elite tier boot but don't want to pay the price.
Yeah, fair enough. What do you think? Have you had like a really like iconic pair of boots that somebody's sold to you and then you've on-sold? Like what do you think the most iconic pair of boots you've had come through is?
As in a boot from like a professional, or
no, just a real like standout boot, you know, that somebody's like sold to you and you've kind of been like, oh, I can't believe they're selling these, and then you sold them on or whatever, you know. Is there anything that stands out?
Yeah, I'd say this time last year we had one recently. To be fair, we had all white, literally triple white Mercurials, and they were like elite tier, and they were unbelievable. They were so nice, and as soon as I listed them, they sold. I'd say last year we were lucky to get a pair of the classic T90 lasers and the Nike Magista Obras, the yellow ones. We got both of them off the same guy for a ridiculous price. Had to meet him outside Goodison Park, which was quite a feat. And they sold instantly, but they were lovely boots. There's some that you do sit there and you just don't want to let go. I think we've had a couple pairs of the Predator Maniacs that have sold pretty quickly. I'm surprised. To be fair, the limited edition pair we got now of the Pure Controls, I thought would sell a bit quicker, but I think with them being all gold boots and being an 11, there's not many centre backs that want to wear, you know, all gold boots. So that's to be expected, really. But yeah, I think that's the main approach. I think any Phantom boot will fly. Literally every single Phantom boot we put on the website will sell pretty quickly. I say that's the most common one, but yeah, we've had a lot of good boots come through. We've had a few from some ex-footballers. What pair did we get recently? We had the triple gold, they're like gold and blue Pure Controls. I'd say the other boot that I think was ridiculous. Do you remember the first pair of Adidas laceless boots? They were good. Yeah, we had a pair of them, and I've not seen boots in such good condition considering the age. And they just flew, literally. And they were unbelievable. They were a boot, to be fair, that I thought was really nice. But yeah, no, I'd say a lot of them. I'm not sure if I've given enough examples there, really.
That's funny, yeah.
But yeah, that's just a variety. It's hard off my head to think of a pile, but that's definitely the ones that stand out.
Mm-hmm. Is there one pair of boots that's been like the most expensive that you've sold? Like, is there like?
Yeah, I'd say, to be fair, it's nothing outstanding because of the way we've kind of operated. We had a pair of Nike ID boots that had sold, and they were customized. They sold for about £200. And then we've had a couple of pairs of Mercurials that have sold for about 180, 190. I'm trying to think. we've had instances where we've had orders of 600, 700 pounds with just like, I don't know, whether they were either kitting themselves out or the whole family out. But we have had instances like that. But I'd say, yeah, we've kind of always approached the margin of quantity. Obviously, it would be tremendous if we could get massive order values, but the general order value is 80 to 90 pounds. It's not much higher than that, and it's about just getting. It's the process of, as if you excuse the pun, the cycle. I mean, the quicker we can perform the cycle, the more boots in circulation, the more old boots out. So it's almost a mass approach, really.
Yeah, nice, very nice. So what's the best way for people to get hold of you if they're interested in getting hold of some boots or sending you some boots?
Yeah, I'd say there's been a huge emphasis on the Instagram. I mean, that is obviously where a lot of success comes from. I think a lot of businesses now and starting up, we use Instagram, and it's a brilliant tool. What you can do. I know your page is unbelievable. The followers it's got. I think Instagram's probably the best way. I mean, that's when we aim to be most responsive, etc. So Instagram's always a great outlet, and then we have placed a huge emphasis into the design and development of our website. So that is, we try to process every single order when possible through the website. So I think our website is doing well. It's quite easy to understand. So yeah, we often utilize that, and then we have obviously the email contact, etc. But I'd say Instagram 100% is the best way to have a look and a preview, but also just have a browse through the website. I mean, there's a variety of boots on there. There's bits of information, how to sell your boots, etc. So I think, yeah, the website really, we've always had a strong emphasis on building the brand, and I'm not sure, obviously, with it being early doors, but with the blue theme, with the blue and the blacks, the blue and the white, we kind of tried to stick, as you've done with the orange and black. We've tried to kind of place an emphasis on that, really, to be the starting foundations of the brand.
Yeah, nice. So your Instagram handle is @thebootcycle.
Yeah, so just nice and simple. THE boot cycle, @thebootcycle. And then the website is just thebootcycle.co.uk. So we try to kind of almost keep everything in line. If you Google it now, I don't know if it's the same across the world, but I know in England it should come up first the results. So yeah, that's the contact details.
Yeah, great, fantastic. All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us, guys. Go check out the website. Go check out the Instagram.
Thank you, and thank you, Ian, for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully we can stay in touch.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thank you.